You're listening to the Claret and Big Blue podcast on the Pass the Gravy podcast network.
Damn, Daniel.
Who do you think you are? I am.
It's Pettis to Jones. Oh, what a catch by Daniel Jones.
Taken away by Wicks. Landini. Oh, it's glorious.
Play action over the middle. Touchdown Giants.
Give me a hell yeah.
And we are live.
We'll do it live.
Welcome everyone to Claret and Big Blue, probably the only podcast on the internet dedicated to West Ham United and the New York Giants. That's right, football and football balls. For everyone's taste, I am Mike Fish and I am joined by the man who has ate more crawfish than Ron Jeremy. It's Mr. Alex Middleton. Alex, how you doing, buddy?
What does that even mean?
I don't know. I was trying to think of some kind of vagina joke and it was the best I could come up with.
Okay. I didn't know, is
Crawfish.
crawfish like a British slang term for vagina or something?
Probably not.
Okay.
I'm the only one who probably...
not
or
here to
whatever it
judge.
works.
Not here to judge. I'm just asking questions, you know? What's up, dude?
Not much. How was your Christmas? Merry Christmas.
Merry or Happy Christmas, as they say across the pond, right?
I'm pretty sure we say Merry Christmas.
Well, I'm basing a lot of my British stuff on Harry Potter, and they always said Happy Christmas. So Merry Christmas and Happy Christmas and holidays.
Probably
as
that
well.
woke stuff. You can't say Merry. Because you get merry when you
Because
drink.
a Christian.
If you get merry when you drink, and we don't want to promote alcoholism, so you say happy instead of merry. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, well, my Christmas was pretty good. I got to hang with the fam. Santa came and saw me and all that good stuff. How about you?
It was alright. It was alright. It's more low key, because of
The vid.
the thing that's happening. But yeah, it was alright. Did you get any good gifts?
Well, I got an Xbox, like the new Xbox,
Ooh.
but I got it before Christmas, so like I kind of already had it, but that was still pretty cool. And then yeah, I got some shoes and stuff, but yeah, pretty solid little Christmas.
How'd you manage to get the Xbox early? Was it your own Christmas? Did you buy it yourself
Well,
for Christmas?
it was like a gift from my mom. My mom was always like, "Hey, what do you want for Christmas?" And I was like, okay, well, like I want the new Xbox." And she's like, "Well, I'll get you the new Xbox. I don't know how to get them because like it's very difficult to come by them right now." And I was like, "If I get it, like I got it." So she just gave me some money for it, which was cool.
Nice. Well, Mom
Shout out to
Middleton.
Mom and Dad for the Christmas gift.
I'd like a new iMac. So,
Those are very expensive.
Those are very expensive. But I'll tell you what, because I get a PC, and they're a lot cheaper, but you have to get antivirus crap, because they're not as good as Macs. And
Yeah, I
I
think
just
you go through them like every 3 years, as opposed to like you can go like 10 with a MacBook. I feel like.
Right, and I just got my invoice for my antivirus crap for like $140 for a year. I was like, Jesus Christ. So I think if you add it up, it would probably work out cheap to get a MacBook. Once you have to spend all the money maintaining these crap. Man, I don't know. Whatever. And before we move on for Christmas, I realized finally that I've reached the age that I'm old now. I'm getting old because part of my gifts, not all of my gifts, but some of my gifts involved socks, underwear, and an electronic toothbrush, and I was happy with them. That's why
I got socks. I got socks as well. Like my brother's girlfriend finally did Christmas with us for the first time ever. So it was a big deal. Like everybody kind of had a pair, and so it was 3 pairs: my mom, my dad, me, Emma, and my fiance, and
Pre-wife.
my pre-wife, and my brother and his girlfriend. And she got me a bunch of like cool socks, like with like sushi on them and pizza and all kinds of different foods. And I was like, awesome gift, Alyssa. Like, but like, I fucking love socks. Socks are the tits. So yeah.
Yeah. Like 14-year-old me is like, what the fuck?
How
I
could
enjoy
you
this.
be excited about that? Yeah. And then I got a lot of Chili's gift cards from people for Christmas. So I'm going to go ham on some Chili's in the near future.
That's what I forgot to get, because this is technically our New Year's show. It's the last show before New Year's Eve. Per your tradition, I bought some Dentes, and I was going to have one on the show, but they're in my car still, and I'm not going to go get them.
Well,
So just pretend
You just
this
have
is
you just have
a Dente.
margaritas just sitting in your car.
Well, no, it's just the beer, Presidente. I haven't got the margarita part of it yet.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's a work in process. But yeah. Let's get into sports, I guess. See, this is the thing. We got a Giants game and 3 West Ham games, but realistically, not much to talk about because Giants game was, as we said last week, copy paste. It was the same shit. We had nothing defensively, we had nothing offensively, and then we started to pick up a little bit during Gup. We didn't even have that
defense.
this week.
We had some defense, and then the second half it just kind of went away. But the offense just is non-existent. Jake Fromm, not the guy we were hoping. Not the guy we were hoping. So we
Stick
went
to
back
insurance,
Mike
pal.
Yeah. I don't know. There's nothing really beneficial to get talking about the Giants. Just cut and paste. That's about all I feel like. Like it looks like Jones and Judge are back next year, which means
Kamara's retired. No, Gettleman's retiring.
Either or, whichever they end up making him do. But I think that I don't know. I feel like our prophecy that we talked about earlier of Joe Judge eventually becoming the GM and head coach of this team is seeming more and more likely.
Yeah, it was just a depressing game to watch because obviously, so we brought in Jake Fromm because Neckman didn't work, and then it's like, well, maybe he'll work this time. It's like, no, just it was just a give, and
wasn't great.
And I mean, I'm gonna watch it, but like, I am seriously questioning whether I'm gonna watch the game on Sunday because it's the last day before I go back to work, and I'm like, do I need that negativity in my world? Do I?
Yeah, it's just probably. Like I had a nice Sunday, all of that, but Giants just they have a great way of just leaving that sour taste in your mouth heading into the week.
Yeah, and I mean, is there really anything else to say about the Giants right now? Like,
they're bad. They're bad.
And I don't see any light at the end of this. There's no because this game we didn't even have because the last couple of games we at
draft
least
offensive line in the draft. Nothing positive going forward this year. We can't score points. You can't win games.
But yeah, it wasn't even like the last couple of games where even though it was meaningless, we scored a couple of touchdowns during garbage time, and it was like, oh, at least this is exciting. We didn't even have, we scored one at the end, but it's like we just had zero.
We are at the Bears though, and the Bears are not great, even though they did just beat the Seahawks. And then we're finishing against the football team, so they just got whipped again by the Cowboys. But still, I mean, we're playing teams that aren't great. That's a positive, but I don't think we're going to score points.
And I guess the Bears game, that's like a... Alex O, join us if you're watching us live. What's up, bros? Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Merry Kwanzaa. When is Kwanzaa?
I think Kwanzaa was Sunday. Maybe it's still going on. I don't know how many days it is.
So, yeah, I know it's a 3 or 4 day thing, right?
So this might be the last day of Kwanzaa.
Well, Happy Kwanzaa if you're watching.
Happy Kwanzaa.
But yeah, what were we talking about? Nothing. We were talking about nothing.
Giants are bad.
But yeah, at least the Browns, it's like a win-win situation because then, if we win, then the Bears are worse off and we get their first-round pick next year. And if we lose, fuck it, we're still in contention for a good pick. So it's like...
Right. I mean, if we get 2 top 10 picks, like, I just want to go O-line. Just let's work on that. Or maybe D-line, but something.
Do you think we can trust them
on the line?
Because now I saw something.
Depends on who we have as GM. If we have Judge as GM, I don't know. Maybe Gettleman and Judge just saw things differently. And
who's that? Who's that? Chris Mara? Is that his brother or something?
He's one of the owners. Yeah, co-owners with the Tisch family.
The damn Maras, fucking. As long as they keep their fingers out, I think they should.
It'll be interesting to see if we do bring in a GM.
I'm just so not motivated to talk about this team. It's so. But yeah, hopefully, just give Joe Judge the job and then just let him do everything, and then at least worst case scenario, that's the noose he can hang himself with, and then if he's shit, we can lose it. Pacey has joined us. 2 punters. I mean,
take Matt McRobert of Sam Houston, and then the San Diego State punter. Those guys are really good punters.
At this point, I wouldn't even be shocked if we take a punter with our first round pick.
We could probably not get him in the first round. but still get punished. But I'd be down for some punting competition. I don't really love what Riley Dixon does for us.
No. What does he do? We just need to get like to get all the punters.
It's exactly what they don't expect us to do, and that's what would throw them on their heads.
Ay. But yeah, I guess we can already move on from that.
Yeah, please.
Right, before we have a little bit of fun, I want to give a quick shout out to this week's sponsor that we have on the show of Claret and Big Blue. This week's sponsor is New Year's Resolutions. Thanks for sponsoring us. Remember, if you want to fool yourself into thinking that you're going to be a better person next year, make a New Year's resolution. Thanks for sending us your sponsorship money there.
Yeah, shout out to New Year's resolutions.
Are you going to make any?
Yeah.
Are you going to bother?
Nah, probably not. I like Chinese New Year's resolutions, so I can think about them for a month and then do it in February.
And then at least when you fail,
a life hack for you.
In February, it's like if you feel like you achieved something.
Still ends December, so it's only 11 months you had to do it, and you get to fuck up for the first month.
Controlling the punter market for the next 10 years. That'd be our friends.
2 punters. You know what? You can't have too many punters. That's what I've always said.
Because then at least whenever like the talking heads are talking shit about the Giants, you go, yeah, you know what though? They dominating the punting.
Those guys are really good at punting.
So much depth.
Go YouTube San Diego State's punter. He's very good. He can like punt the ball like 80 yards. It's pretty nuts.
And he's a PTG athlete, right?
No, I want him to be.
Oh, he's not
go to the NFL. No, we have Sam Houston State. Sam Houston State, not San Diego State.
Sorry, I heard San and my brain went away with it.
Next time.
I'm just not with it today.
No. Oh, well, fullback and placeholder. If we could draft Ryan Humphreys. He's a PTG athlete.
I mean, if we get a good placeholder and Gano, be unstoppable. Just all we'd have to do is get within like 45 yards and pow, Gano time.
Although we do have a really good, I do like our fullback and Elijah Penny. I think he's pretty solid.
He is good, and I did like it. Fullback. And I always enjoyed it whenever he and Daniel Jones linked up. It was like the coin team.
Yeah, he's Diamond,
Penny and Dimes. Penny and Dimes. The loose change of the NFL. Okay. Time to test Alex's knowledge this week. I'm sure you forgot about this segment again.
I do keep forgetting about it, yeah.
This week we're going to go straight into the hard one. Not the hard one, it's an interesting one. I'm going to bring up the stopwatch. So it's time, before we talk about positive stuff, because another team actually won a game. It's time to play this week's... How many things can you name? So, you love that.
It's funny.
So this week, obviously Alex Middleton is famed as he's part of the Rod Ryan show on Houston's alternative 90 by the Buzz. 94.5.
I was like, did you just mumble through that so you didn't have to say the number? Buzz?
I knew it was the Buzz. So obviously he's a man for rock music, alternative music. So I'm going to test you. So I looked up, and their website is shocking. So it took me a little while, longer than it should have. I looked at the Billboard's top rock albums of 2021. Okay.
Oh, fuck.
And there was 28 different artists, whether solo or bands, that featured as number one in the 2021 top rock album.
Alternative rock, okay.
Just rock. It says rock. So there's 28 artists. Now, I'll give you a clue. They're not all necessarily albums that were released in 2021. Name 25 Tool songs, no limit.
No time limit.
And you have to write them down. Spelling is decent as well.
Parabola. Nailed it.
So, 28 to name. I'm going to give you 60 seconds on the clock. See how many you can name of artists that featured in the top rock album, number one spot for 2021. And your time starts.
I'm going to lose at this.
Now.
Is Coldplay on it?
Coldplay is on it.
Oh, nice.
One.
was AC/DC? Did they come out something this year? AC/DC, Guns N' Roses,
Nope.
Van Halen definitely didn't come out. Wolfie Van Halen,
No.
Mammoth WVH, Aaron
Yes.
Jones.
No.
Wolfie Van Halen is in Mammoth WVH, so that would have counted anyways. I get
Okay.
2 points for that.
Two-
Shit, I don't know.
They're not necessarily
Cold War
albums
Kid.
that came out in 2021. They just wasn't number one in 2021.
That doesn't help. Cold War Kids, Modest Mouse. Yeah, I don't know. Just let's wrap it up.
Look at the chat. Look at the chat. There's
Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters. Yep.
Okay. That's all I got.
So, since we're going to give you 2 points for Mammoth WVH, you got 4 points. Congratulations. So, some of them you could have missed, and this is why I was saying these albums did not come out until 2021. You could have had The Beatles, Robert Plant, Nirvana, Radiohead, Grateful Dead, Queen, Glass Animal, Spirit Box, Metallica, Iron Maiden, Killers, Chevelle, AGR, Rod Zombie, Greta Van Fleet, Gojira, Miley Cyrus, Weezer, Black Keys, blah, 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 blah.
I should have got Weezer and Greta Van Fleet, probably.
George Harrison.
I would not. I wouldn't have guessed George Harrison.
Yeah, why was George Harrison like all of a sudden?
He didn't die, did he? No.
Yes, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, he got.
No, it's Ringo. It's Ringo and Paul that are alive.
Ringo and Paul are still alive.
That's it. You're right. Okay. Wait, John Lennon's dead?
It's like that from Deadpool. So at least we've still got George Michael, right? No, at least we've got fuck.
I really nailed that joke.
Because he was yeah, fuck it. At least we've got Bowie. Still got Bowie. And then I goes, yeah, we still got Bowie, pal. Good stuff. Good stuff. That's what they want you to think.
That's true.
Yeah,
him,
George
Elvis,
Harrison's
alive with Tupac
and Biggie just chilling on the beach, drinking out of coconut.
Stay woke, people. Stay woke.
Because who told you that they were dead, huh? Where'd you hear that?
Where'd you hear that from? The liberal media?
Good stuff. Good stuff. This is a cracking show. Great content.
This
Great
is going
content.
well. It's going well.
We're going out the year on a bang, baby. So now let's talk about.
We're talking fireworks, folks.
We're talking fireworks. It's now time.
Hammer time.
For Hammer Time. Because, yes, West Ham may have been knocked out the Carabao Cup by Tottenham.
No one cares
about that.
Really care about Cup.
Poor man's Red Bull.
Gives a shit about the Carabao Cup.
Carabao does not give you wings. It doesn't even give you
it doesn't.
sneakers.
They don't even have a racing team.
Nope.
They don't have Max Verstappen.
Max
They don't have
Dubstappen.
Max Dubstappen, our favorite racer ever. Duh. They
Duh.
don't have a team.
And then we also may have lost to Southampton, but whatever. Who cares?
Who cares? You know what the real thing is, and I'm serious about this. It's the Premier League against West Ham, because I'm pretty sure we like evidenced as like the last 3 games or so, Premier League games, not Carabao games, but like the EPL had to have been like, hey, look, that was cool, I guess, that West Ham crashed the top 6, but not fucking again. Not fucking again. Let's start making sure that we penalize them for anything that we give penalty kicks for, stuff that happens outside the box. And it's like, but what are you runs in the box? Count it. Round it up. Let's do that. Who gives a fuck? We got to make sure that we're fucking West Ham. And they were trying to do that today, time in and time again. And it was just like, Watford's just that bad. But like we are getting absolutely no breaks. Antonio just can get like assaulted. And it's
literally grabbed and suplexed onto the ground.
He gets the caution. It's bullshit.
Basically, my favorite thing was Spurs guys saying West Ham couldn't beat Southampton. And then
with 10 men.
They couldn't even win them. So beat that. Suck that, Spurs. But yeah, that was ridiculous. I think the Southampton game, West Ham wasn't very good. Let's be honest.
We played flat, but like.
I think the draw would have been
fair.
It's a tie
game. It's a draw. It's a draw at that, and we played good enough to get a draw. We should have we deserved to lose it, but that was what that changed the game. That was the difference in the game. Was a horseshit officiating call where you went and looked at it. You looked at the same thing that we all watched and somehow said, yeah, he made contact with him before the box, but it's still a penalty because the guy ran into the box. No, it's not.
No, how many times do you see that happen where they because I don't
never
fault
has shit.
I don't fault the Southampton player because lots of players do that. They get hit outside the box and they keep trying. Let's try to go down in the box, and it never happens except for apparently this time against West Ham. That it was, and today you could tell how many times did like I said, Antonio literally get this guy grabs both arms around him, pulls him to the ground, nothing.
Or grabs him, throws him into his teammate, then the teammate falls down, and Antonio gets the caution. He had his hand on the yellow. I thought he was about to yellow him up, and he didn't. It was bullshit. Did Noble get yellowed, or he just got...
I don't think he did, but he definitely... He did that thing where he literally brushed past one of their players, and they got a free kick. It's like, what the fuck?
And then just... I understand it's soccer, and playing up the injury is part of it, or whatever. But... where Juan Pedro was I think it was Dawson went up, headed the ball, made perfect contact with the ball, was going for the ball the whole way, put his arm on there afterwards, and then Pedro acted like he just got elbowed in the back of the head and was grabbing his head. They need to start doing shit like the NFL does, where it's okay, you went down, you have to come off and get checked out in this tent, especially if you're going to grab your head. You have to go to the little injury tent, do the head thing, so then at least you have to come off the field. You should start if you have a head injury or anything like that, it should be treated like they do with the NFL. Or if you want to pretend that you have a head injury, like Juan Pedro is doing today, they should make you go off there and get your bullshit little assessment until you're fine and you can come out. But Watford should have had to play a man down temporarily while he went to go get investigated if he wanted to create a scene. And it was crazy. He just hopped right back up and was able to push Antonio later on as well. So it was. I don't know. It was the last couple of games have been very frustrating. West Ham hasn't played great ball, but. They're the better team. They've been the better team against Southampton. They've been the better team against Watford today. It finally came through, and I'm glad that Bowen is finally kind of coming into it. It looks like Bowen's really, really stepping it up while Antonio's kind of struggled. I know he scored, but it's just I have no idea. And Ben Rama and Bowen are kind of getting it done right now, and we need some help. We need our back four to get better. We need to get healthy, and we need to make some acquisitions at the transfer window.
But how good as well? It's nice to see Vlasic get a goal tonight.
That was cool.
Because I made comparisons with him the other day. After I think it was a Southampton game where he seems to be this year's Ben Rama, in terms of David Moyes sparingly starts him, and then when he does, even if he plays well for some reason, he's the first guy to come off. Or he'll come on for the last 5 minutes and nothing. And then he's been lacking confidence. And I think once he scores his first goal, that'll be a big changer for him. And I was hoping it wasn't going to be like Ben Rama, where it took to the last game of the season before he scores. So I'm happy he scored this week, today, whatever. Mm-hmm. So hopefully he's going to.
That was an awesome pass.
Awesome pass
made by Bowen.
It wasn't the easiest to finish either.
Level today. Bowen was another level, and then who else played really well today was Mark Noble. Mark Noble, he's I know he's got the age thing. We've bitched about him having to start, but was Rice hurt or did they just?
No, he was suspended.
Oh, you're right,
because he got his fifth yellow card.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, because I was I didn't see anything with injuries on him. I guess maybe they just rested him. They were resting some other guys, but it was. It was awesome to see Noble. That was some classic Noble out there. He didn't look like he was slow.
It was nice to have him on the pitch when we finally got a penalty.
Yeah. So I don't understand. You stop a goal scoring opportunity, and that's a red card, isn't it? How does the keeper not follow in the same why didn't he get a yellow? He should have got a yellow at least, right?
Possibly, but I think maybe the fact that Bowen was moving away from the goal probably saved him from getting any red card. Basically, Vlasic would have been good to push them out. I don't know what that means. Any idea, Alex?
No. But it sounds really smart.
Sounds smart. He'll explain it, I'm sure. But yeah, how much pain do you think that gave that referee to look at the screen and be like, shit, it's clear?
I didn't think it was. I was convinced that it was not going to be a penalty, and I was just gonna like laugh, laugh at it because at this point, I just don't expect anything. Kevin Friend was the fuckface the other day against Southampton that just was like, yeah, we just give penalties to anything. And I even tweeted out, I was like, well, Sufal was taken down, but he could see the box, so I think that makes it a penalty according to him, right? Like, I can
as long as you're facing that general direction.
Yeah, that's a penalty then. But
Kevin Friend was that loser guy at school who would always like play the pun like, "Hey, you always got a friend in me."
yeah,
and he didn't have any friends. Probably didn't have any friends.
Was.
But yes, good stuff. 4 got Souček. Good to see Souček back in the goals as well. He's been a little dry spell. Christopher Pacey, Benny was too small against the Watford back line. Was a good game for Vlasic. Yes.
Vlasic was better for it than Benrahma was. That makes sense.
But I thought Benny had a good game as well.
I mean, yeah, he got the goal, but he did look small against that back line. Our back line did pretty well, and it was Watford, but just we need to continue to get better that way.
And then, obviously, we've got the big game to preview on Saturday, as Alex alludes to. UK's big bowl game against those damn Iowa Hawkeyes. They're going down.
The Hawkeyes.
Wildcats always kill. It's not even a full hawk. It's just the eyes.
Yeah.
What's a shit mascot? Is that the mascot? Just giant pair of eyes? Like googly eyes?
No, it's a hawk. A yellow hawk.
With big
like
googly eyes?
Of a hawk.
Does it? Because I mean, if there's,
I don't know about the.
They're highlighting the eyes of the hawk. It needs to have like the. So when he jumps around,
it's a black, just outline of a hawk. But yeah, you got the Camping World Bowl or the Citrus Bowl. Fuck yeah!
Everyone loves camping.
Which game
world.
are you gonna watch? West Ham or UK? Goof. Yeah, you got a line here. You got to double screen it maybe.
I'll just probably have to.
But you might not have any cable though, is it, Mr. Cookcutner? A little difficult, isn't it?
That's fine when you have your in-laws' information, so you can log in on the apps.
Identity theft, hilarious.
It is. I'm an old woman. But yeah, we've got Crystal Palace at the same time, or kicking up just before that actually.
We better fucking beat Crystal Palace.
I mean, they look pretty good today. I mean, who did they play?
We can't drop any more.
I mean, they only played Norwich, to be fair. Norwich are a terrible fucking team.
We can't drop any more games like this.
No, these are the games we need to be winning. And we've dropped a couple. Do you see? So what is it? So it's the 28th, 29th.
I don't feel like we have a shot at Champions League. Like, honestly, the way we've been playing, like, I don't feel like Champions League is even the goal anymore. I mean, it is. But it's just, I don't think we're going to be as competitive. It doesn't look like we're going to be as competitive for it. We're just taking games off. We've had the injuries. We've had other things like that. But I feel like it's like Europa is maybe what we're going to have to settle with again, or Conference League or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. This team just seems like it's like we don't show up for like halves, and you're going to lose against shitty teams like Southampton and obviously against good teams like that.
I mean, maybe not through the Premier League, but I think we can still win the Europa League, get the Champions League that way.
Yeah, we do have a chance to do that.
Places to say Crystal Palace are a bogey team. I mean, we have like a lot of bogey teams. But yeah, any London derby, I'm not a big fan of. I always get nervous before that. Even like
Brighton
Brentford
always feels like they trick us up. They trip us up too.
And Everton, and I don't like playing Everton. Like there's so many. So against Crystal Palace, before talk about score previews, team previews. Do you think do we stick to a winning team and go with the same starting lineup, or do you think Vlasic deserves to start ahead of
I think you
either Benrahma or Lanzini?
I think you keep the winning team you had. Honestly, it just seems like it makes more sense there. Maybe do you give Vlasic a shot over Antonio?
No,
I don't know. I just feel like he hasn't done shit, man. he was looking better the last 2 games. You're right.
Well, maybe now he's got
you don't.
he got Rice back. Yeah, so Noble's obviously back on the bench. But yeah,
No, I think Vlasic has to come off the bench for a little bit. That's just the way. Like you compared it to the Ben Rama situation last year, where Moyes just slowly was bringing him off the bench, and just he had a short leash. It's just because I think that Moyes has to really trust a guy. Like he's kind of showing like that's what the Lingard thing. Like we signed Lingard, and obviously Lingard's a stud. But like when we signed Lingard, Moyes already trusted him from his time at Man United, so he lets him just he just unleashed him right off the bat. But I think that with Ben Rama, it took him a season or so to warm up to him and to trust him the way he kind of does now. And even now, I feel like when Ben Rama doesn't play well, there is a short leash on him where they, like he is not hesitant to pull Ben Rama off more quicker than a lot of other players. I feel like I think Ben Rama and Bowen get like kind of a quick leash still, just because he trusts them, but it's like. He's not all the way there. Whereas like with Rice and the other guys that have been solid all the time, like they're gonna get that. But I don't know. I really think that Vlasic just has to like kind of play the same role that Ben Rama did a little bit last year, and then maybe next year, if he's earned the trust and all of that, that he'll get a little bit more time.
Yeah, I mean, looking ahead, because after we've got Crystal Palace on January 1st, and then we don't have a Premier League game for another 15 days after that, because we've got FA Cup in between that. But we're playing Leeds twice back-to-back, once in the Cup, once in the League. So I'm going to assume there's going to be some changing around for the FA Cup game, maybe. So, yeah, there's no real need to rest anyone.
Do we give a fuck about the FA Cup? Yeah.
Yeah, I want to win something. I want to be able to see West Ham lift a fucking trophy at some point. Crystal Palace, more like Trash Palace. Yeah.
Hey, your mic is picking up some weird background noise.
It does this every time when someone in my apartment uses a shower.
Okay. So yeah. Just letting you know. So yeah, we got Man United to wrap things up. Where's the Norwich game? Have we rescheduled that yet?
Not that I'm aware of. There is a Norwich game on May 7th, but I'm assuming that's our...
Yeah, that's away.
So yeah, I don't
Norwich
know.
At home.
But yeah, so
that's gonna be interesting for teams though. That like at the back half of the Premier League season, like are they gonna just end up cramming those wherever they can? I guess as
they're
like,
gonna have to. That's the problem. So
tournaments and stuff, like because it's in reality, teams that have had the outbreaks and the trouble shutting down. Like we've only missed 1 game, but like there's teams that have missed 3 games, maybe more. And
Burnley
they're gonna just have
4.
Yeah, they're just gonna have to like Watford. They were saying it only had 1 training session in the last like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever it was. They hadn't played a game in 2 weeks or whatever it was. But like, are there going to be teams like Burnley where they just have to play like the last 2 weeks of the season? They're going to cram it in that way, or are they going to just try and cram it in wherever is possible? Like,
I think it's really cram it in wherever possible, because that's the way. Because I was watching NBC's coverage, and they were talking about because Burnley are 18th, so they're in the bottom 3 with 11 points, but they have 4 games in hand over Newcastle and Norwich. So they're like, whoa, they could really spread, like, get out of there. I was like, well, yes, but if you're fighting in relegation and you have to, because they have, like I say, they have to play those games. So they're playing 23 games in the same time period that those other teams are only playing 19 games. So they're going to be tired as hell. So I think that could fuck them up towards the end of the season.
And I guess I meant more so for like the top tier teams. Like, yeah, it doesn't affect. I didn't think about the relegation battle, but it's like if you're fighting for, like, if you're Chelsea, I don't know if they had any games canceled or whatever, but like say Chelsea had 3 games canceled. That's 3 games they got to fit in on top of Champions League, on top of everything else that they do on FA Cup. Are they still in the Carabao? I think so. And it's like
Burnley,
Chelsea.
Oh,
But
Chelsea,
like,
yes.
If
yes,
it were Chelsea, that's difficult to navigate all of that stuff. So I think with Burnley, they're a little bit more okay. Like they're gonna have to play more Premier League games, but I don't expect Burnley to be in the FA Cup long. I don't.
No.
Like, I know Burnley's not in the Carabao, so it's a little bit easier. Like yeah, they're gonna have to play a couple Premier League games, but like that's what you're expected to be able to do. It's with like the top tier teams, the upper level teams. Like if you were in Europa and other stuff like that, having to balance that with also adding the 3 or 4 Premier League games you didn't get to fit in. Like, that really hampers the team at a point in time. And yeah, the higher up clubs like Chelsea are supposed to have those guys that can substitute it and fill time, but it's interesting because it is in Qatar. They moved it to winter. They'll shove in the Norwich.
Yeah, Alex, I didn't realize this year's World Cup literally starts in November. I thought it was a summer thing. Yes, because it's in Qatar and it's hot as balls in the summer. So they've moved it to winter, and it's going to suck because...
Well, then don't have it in Qatar. Make them have fucking domes. Like, I don't understand that.
Don't get me started on that. Because they already found out... They already found that FIFA's corrupt. They already literally arrested people involved in that deal. So they found out, obviously, Qatar winning the World Cup was dodgy, under the table stuff. So why is that event still going on? I don't understand why that... But also, because of the time difference, some of the games are going to be on 4 a.m. over here.
Right. Well, but you had when they bitched about people when they had the MetLife Stadium hosted the Super Bowl. They're like, "What if it's cold and it's snowy? What are we gonna do?" Well, you have to play a fucking football game in because that's how weather works, man. Like, if you have it in a place where it gets cold in the time that you are going to host the event, then that's just part of it, man. Tell your guys to warm up. Tell your guys to hydrate. It's gonna be hot as balls. Like, put a fucking dome over the stadium. I don't know, FIFA. It's stupid, and as somebody that's gonna have to watch games at 4 a.m., it's annoying. It is money. It's all money. But so we're losing Ben Rama in January, too, right?
Yes.
There's the
African Cup of Nations.
Yeah. Why does that happen? Why is that just?
I'm gonna assume same reason. Oh no, because that's Southern Hemisphere, so I guess this is their summer. So this is when they have their international tournaments, I guess.
I don't know. I don't understand that either, but whatever. Whatever, man. Fuck Qatar. Cotter.
But yeah, at least that's
fucked them up in the CONCACAF Cup earlier this year. So they can suck on that.
But at least that
USA.
That department of the field is not something we lack depth in, so... Even though I would like Ben Ramos to still be available, it's not like the end of the world that he won't be available for a couple of games.
That's true.
But because Bowen is on fire as right now. Alexo is confused.
I'm also confused. And they're going to compete against football. Good idea, guys. Not.
What are you going to watch? The Super Bowl or the African Cup of Nations quarterfinals?
Probably Super Bowl.
Probably. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe it's a good game. Who knows?
Maybe. Whenever is it Algeria?
Algeria are in. Yes. No. Yes. Yes.
Wherever Ben Rama's from, that's who I'm.
That's our team.
For, so I might watch them. And then was it Cote d'Ivoire? That's where Didier Drogba was from. Ivory Coast.
I'm just trying.
In Cameroon, that's where Samuel Eto'o was from. I remember playing FIFA.
Is Masuaku gonna?
I don't know.
Congo? Did they make the African Cup of Nations? I don't know. We'll look into that. We'll do an African Cup of Nations special. I'm sure. Maybe we won't probably, but maybe
you're gonna love it. It's gonna be great.
Super Bowl though, halftime show. Looking forward to that. That should be interesting with Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, and all that good stuff. That'd be fun. Angola versus Chad, the match of a lifetime.
Throw out the record books when those two get together. I like watching. It's when it's the Europe qualifying ones where I'm like, I have never heard of 4 of these countries. I'm obviously betting against them, and it works that way.
Let's have a quick look. African Cup of Nations.
We're your number 1 podcast for the Africa Cup of Nations, all right?
The only podcast dedicated to West Ham United, New York Giants, and African Cup of Nations.
Mark that. Tupac hologram for the halftime show. That would be nuts, dude.
All right, I don't think Congo made it this year, so Masuaku's still in it. Masuaku's staying.
Keep the Congo out.
But I'm looking for maybe Guinea versus Malawi.
Ooh.
Heated rivalry there.
Oh, why? Yeah, those two do not like one another, I'll tell you that. What about the rest of Africa all on one team against South Africa? Because they're kind of problematic if you look at their history.
Yeah, that'd be
Now that is a matchup I'd watch.
that'd be a softball game and a half.
South Africa versus fuck you, South Africa. FC.
Gravy Gamble has to look into those bets. Oh yes, we need to get Euro.
We'll have.
We need to get. We need to get the Bet the House boys talking about the African Cup of Nations.
You know, Dante knows a few things about Africa Cup of Nations. He's more of a football guy, but he also knows some other things.
But from what I know about that guy, if you can make money off it, he's an expert.
Yep, usually.
See if we can make that happen.
I'll talk to him. He's a very difficult guy to get a hold of these days. He's very busy, making so much money.
Right? Yeah, he wasn't available for our 50th episode.
He wasn't. Yeah, he's too busy. He's too rich. That guy's pricey.
CBBA. It's got a ring to it.
Yeah.
Welcome to Suba. Kubaba.
Kababa.
Great content. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys love it. Do you think people follow us on Twitter, CBB Pod, because they think we're a college basketball podcast? I was wondering that the other day.
No, but maybe.
Some people do abbreviate college basketball CBB instead of NCAAB.
Well, if they are, they're not watching anymore because they're like, "What the fuck?"
Like they didn't cover Duke at all. They did talk Kentucky a little bit, but I think that was more of a football conversation.
When are they gonna get to it? March Madness. I'll come back to that. Yes. So, as we were talking about, West Ham, Crystal Palace.
After NFL season ends, you should just do, or no, when the Giants season ends, so a couple of weeks, you just exclusively do like a 1 minute segment on you think about the Kentucky Wildcats basketball program. I don't know what Coach Calipari's doing over there, but the boys need to figure it out. They want to stand a chance in the SEC race.
Damn straight.
So just do that. Then we will be a CBB pod.
Canadian bocce ball.
I only am down for Canadian goose hunting. Makes better pills.
I am totally not Googling what the hell bocce ball is.
Bocce ball? Yeah, it's
like
just like it's like lawn darts, but with just balls. Or like horseshoes almost. You throw a white ball out and you try and bocce those. You try and throw your two balls and like not get hit by other ones, but it's like curling, but you're tossing it more.
It looks like is that okay? So this one first picture that came out, I'm assuming this guy
it's a classy game. It's cooler than croquet, dude.
This guy's obviously got a tape measure out, measuring how far the ball is from the white ball, but it looked like he was holding like a pool cue, and I thought it was like lawn pool where you just climb on the table and there's no pockets. But okay, it's like
curling.
Okay.
With a ball.
Well, then.
Curling. The sport of curling.
If the Canadians have
big curling guy,
a bocce ball league, then we'll talk about it. And then there's the nice hat. Why do you have that?
Because during the Winter Olympics, I got pretty stoked about curling because the U.S. won, dude. So don't judge me.
Did you buy that?
Supporting the boys. It was a gift from Rod Ryan.
Oh, okay.
We're big curling guys.
Then there's UK baseball, UK track and field, and UK. This is going to be maybe that's what we're going to do in those couple of weeks. We're just going to. We've got no West Ham, no Giants to talk about. We'll just
talk about Winter Olympic qualifiers.
Oh, it's going to be hot shit.
Your number one Olympics, West Ham, African League of Nations, and New York Giants podcast.
And bocce ball.
And Canadian bocce ball, specifically in the region of Canada, not including French Canada, because fuck them.
They don't even know who they are.
Nova Scotia, you're out. Montreal, no chance.
Toronto, all about it.
Okay.
You're
Vancouver, all right. Saginaw, Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan, Saginaw, same thing. Yep. Quebec, not a chance.
There is a London in Quebec, though. Maybe.
Cultural appropriation, trying to steal British culture, if you ask me.
Disgraceful.
If I were you, you should write a whole piece on it as a Brit. Why I'm offended at London, Ontario, or Quebec, whatever the fuck it is.
And Birmingham, Alabama.
Send it to Vice or the Daily News, and they're like, "We got ourselves an article."
That's totally not related to the British going over there in the first place. Anyway, might be a rabbit hole I don't want to go down. And lastly, UK Ultimate Frisbee and Spike Ball.
Spike Ball, dude. I love Spike Ball.
If you're just tuning in and wondering what the fuck we're talking about things we should cover.
We're
instead
talking
of
about
Giants,
everything.
because
we're
Giants
already
are
a niche
shit.
podcast. We're becoming a bigger niche podcast.
So Tuesday we talk about
That's
Giants and West Ham,
niche podcast.
and then Wednesday, welcome to Spike Ball. Spike Ball with Mike and Alex.
Shit. Spiking it with Alex and Mike.
Welcome to Bocce Weekly.
We should do that. We have like a bunch of like 1 minute podcasts. Spiking
that.
it. And it's only 60 seconds long. We're like, all right, what is your Spike Ball news? Well, I looked at this place and this team beat this team at Spike Ball. All right. That's been our Spike Ball update. Talk to you next week.
This week I was watching 5 drunk guys in the park. They look pretty into
Our
it.
energy and a Monster Energy at the same time, mix it together, and that's like what we do 5 minutes before. And then we watch the X Games until it's time to record, and then we're ready for Spike Ball.
Spiking it.
Spike it, Mike.
I'm gonna spike it over to you now, Alex. What's your
Hi,
take?
I'm Mike Spikes.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So we'll bring on to that. Look, all the good things you got to look forward to 2022
Why would you not tune in?
on the College Basketball Podcast. And then also what you got to look forward to, January, it's a transfer window. So from next week, we'll be bringing you
Transfer. To watch.
So you got that to look forward to. I'm shocked we're not like bigger. I don't know why more people don't watch us and listen to us. This is
I mean, we
a
have
great,
Chris
serious
watching us now.
podcast.
Our audience has grown by 100%.
Alex and Chris.
It was Alex, and now it's Alex and Chris. Holy shit, can you imagine if we got 2 more people?
I doubt any other podcast will cover this many sports. Nope, because they're too scared.
Exactly.
Basically, in Tier 12 sports news, POG quarterfinals came down to the white.
Pogs? Yes! Real slammer action on this one.
When you thought you got a good one and it didn't.
Yep.
So much pain. So much pain. All right. I think we covered everything. I think we can wrap this up.
Yeah, I'd say
Palace, before next week, we're going to win.
Fuck them. We're going to win 4-1 again.
4-1 again. Vlasic is going to score off the bench again, just because that's what he likes to do. Antonio's going to score a hat-trick. Just because he can.
Predictions for UK, Iowa, Mike.
It's going to be a blowout.
Citrus Bowl.
Wildcats going to dominate, baby. And that's all you need to know.
Wildcats.
Alex O's New Year's resolution to be more interactive on here and PTG.
Yeah, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Looking forward to it, man.
Speaking of which, what's are you doing a podcast this week? You doing a Pasta Gravy this week?
We'll have a best of 2021 for Pasta Gravy, so it's more of a video version this year. We'll have the audio version. It'll just be what the video version is, so it may be more visually appealing to watch on our YouTube and Facebook page. Pass the Gravy Podcast on YouTube and Pass the Gravy Podcast on Facebook as well. Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at Pass the Gravy Pod. But yeah, tomorrow afternoon / early evening-ish will be the best of 2021. We're at Waffle Box.
Waffle Box. We're talking about Matrix, the new Matrix movie, and also this Japanese guy who's apparently invented a TV that you can taste. We're going to be talking about that and how gross that is. But we're diving into that. and more. Check it out. Wafflebox Pod at Wafflebox Pod or enjoywafflebox.com. But yes, thanks for watching this crazy show. If you are listening to us, you can join in. You can be interactive with us live each and every Tuesday at 6 o'clock Eastern. By Chris and Alex O. 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central on Tuesdays over at YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. If you are watching us and you'd rather listen to us or you want to listen to us again, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Good Pods, all those good places you can get that podcast. But until then, Happy New Year. Be good, be merry, and we'll see you in 2022.